Happy Thursday, January 23rd. Today, we're going to be talking about why most companies are going to have a really hard time transitioning into a go-to-market engineering world and what they can do to reframe their thinking and set themselves up for success. So let's talk about let's talk about where we have come from. I don't want to talk about how we came. Where we've come from. We've come from this world where you can where there's software that log in and you understand it. People can log into Apollo, they can log into ZoomInfo. I build a list, I export a list, right? Really easy. And then they went into tools like SalesLoft and Outreach, and they just dumped the list from Apollo to Outreach and shipped it. Same thing with calling campaigns. Spend a bunch of time manually researching on LinkedIn, call. And their leadership said, "What do you research?" "I don't know. You're the SDR, you figure out what to research." And this was compounded by horizontal go-to-market companies, which basically companies that sell horizontally. And what they tried to do is take all the inbound, which was from a variety of different personas, use cases, and segments, industries, etc., and just apply that outbound and say to the SDR, "You figure it out. If you're prospecting into this account in this segment with this problem, you figure out. We've got one case study for you. Use that case study and talk up our product." It's not enough context. So we got into this world where we are measuring activity and how many emails are you sending and how many phone calls are you sending. And it's not that activity isn't correlated with results. It's just that it's not the best way to produce the most amount of them. But to do this, we need to do something that humans are really bad at. We need to not eat the Oreo. And I don't know if you've seen these studies where basically they will allow kids, you can have one Oreo now, or if you wait, you can have 2 Oreos later. And most kids just eat the Oreo. Go-to-market engineering is different. Basically, what it's saying is it's tech debt. We're paying back tech debt. I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine, Kyle, the CRO of Owner.com, and I was asking him about how his systems were architected, and they're doing fantastic. And they have I guess I shouldn't give away some amount of the secret sauce, but the gist was that every night and every month they have enrichment that's just running. And they do the exact same thing that I do, but they basically are like, qualify the account, yes or no, and then quantify the account. How are they a good fit? And the thing about the quantifying the account is you don't have to use machine learning, etc. If you know the segment and you know what data exists for the segment, you can qualify the account with the data that you use to message them. So you solve the messaging problem, you remove the messaging challenge out of the hands of the SDRs, you do all of the qualification, quantification, and individual person research, and suddenly you can build a system where you know which accounts to go after, you know why to go after them. You're not being fed this from intent data, or you're not being fed this from ZoomInfo. You have an opinion that if you, as the leader, as the CEO of the company, researched an account, you can say, this is exactly why we go after them. Now, you can't do this if you don't pick a segment. If you're like, great, you can't answer this question, why is this a good fit for my company? You can answer the question, why is this customer in this segment at this time? What public things are they displaying that make them a good fit for me? And when you do that research, if you don't pick a segment, the inputs and the outputs are going to be random. It's just going to be based on what you think is good from your extensive knowledge. But you have to translate that to the system. And the challenge with go-to-market engineering is that most people are so far away from this. They understand the inputs. They kind of know, well, we sort of look at this, we look at this, we look at shipping times, we look at blah, blah, blah. But you now need to take that. You need to build in your system. You need to build an enrichment layer, a data layer. You have to have all these systems talking to each other. And then you can start to pour gas on the fire. Because unlike intent, unlike these other tools, if you know at the person level, at the company, both the person and the company level, you know why they're a good fit based on public data. Let's see what if you know why they're a good fit based on public data, then you can determine what to say to them. And that system takes 6 to 9 months to build. It's not an overnight thing because you haven't scoped it, you haven't picked a segment, you don't know how the systems could connect, you don't know how that should lead into the SDR. So you have I kind of put these, I did not, that was not a thumbs up. You have these in 3 categories. The first category is is this a scraper? So do I need to build a public scraper that goes and takes information? The second category is a workflow category, which is how do I connect A to B? How should this data flow? And the scraper is like you can think of a data. And an AI agent, which is I need to do some sort of arbitrary research on people and put these into structured buckets to push into my CRM, et cetera. So we need to move away from this world that we think of a go-to-market engineer as for outbound, or we want to improve our list. This is not what it is for. It is a fundamental base layer of how go-to-market teams should think, because once you know why you are a good fit for a segment and you can get that data in your systems and you know it at the person level, you don't have to worry about intent. You don't have to worry about some random person coming on the website, which you don't even know it's them. You can say, these are all of my perfect accounts. These are all of my perfect contacts. I know why they are my perfect contacts. And because I know that, I know which accounts at which contacts to flow in what way so that I can extract the most amount of revenue. And this is channel agnostic. That is to say that you can push into Facebook ads. You can push into a LinkedIn automation campaign with a tool like HeyReach. You could push into a Smart Lead. You could push into a Nooks or Orem or SalesLoft and have calls being done because you know the segment, you know the audience, you know what to say to them, you know why they were targeted. The where to target them is kind of inconsequential. And this is the shift that is happening. People moving away from a place where they can't control their destiny, where they, sixth sense, just give me the leads. Okay, G2, I trust you. Okay, our B2B, you told me this person is on the website. I'll just market to them. This is not the way forward because it means that you don't know why. You're just taking what you can get. But the building of the why infrastructure and where, which is where do you find it and why is it important, can only happen segment by segment. You can't do it you can't build a universal qualifying engine if you have multiple segments in a single ideal customer profile. And if you can do that and get really, really, really fast at it, suddenly you can transform the way that you do go to market, because at any given time for any given account, your entire leadership can say, this is a good account, this is an okay account, this is a disqualified account. And until you can do that, you can't improve any of the downstream processes. So we're at this moment with go-to-market where we need to eat our vegetables. And if you'd like to eat your vegetables, I'm going to help you. It's going to be a transformation process. It's going to take some time. It's not an overnight thing. If you want to keep building lists, go for it. But if you're interested in building systems, I would love to have a conversation with you.